Okay, so recently, artist manager Wack100 decided to say something in a TMZ interview that, in my opinion, pretty much puts all of his credibility as a person who works in the music industry in question. He claims that Nipsey Hussle isn't a legend because while he was alive, he had no radio hits, he had no platinum songs, and he had no world tours. He didn't have enough commercial success to be someone regarded as a legend in hip hop. Plus, he only put out one album throughout his entire career. It was only after his death that Nipsey Hussle went platinum, sold lots of records, and his social media following grew by the millions. He also said that this was nothing personal. He had no personal issue against Nipsey Hussle. He was just saying the honest truth, and he'd rather be someone who says the honest truth and is hated for it than someone who would just lie in the name of not being persecuted. It says volume about Wack100. I say this because about a week ago, Blueface, an artist, a rapper that is managed by Wack100, caught himself in a bit of a controversy when he took to Instagram to talk about how rappers about a rapper's image nowadays. The world has a short attention span. It's all about how you look and how you present yourself and not really about the music anymore. It isn't about the raps, it's the way you portray yourself on social media. And this speaks volumes because on one hand you see Blueface talking about how it's the materialistic things in this industry that matter instead of the actual content a rappers putting out to the world. And on the other hand, you have Wack100 saying Nipsey Hussle wasn't that much of a legend because he didn't have that much commercial success. I want to start this off by saying that there's multiple reasons why Nipsey Hussle is a legend, and one of them being his music. He did have a very respected body of work. His music was acclaimed by both fans and his peers in the industry. And for Wack100 to say that he isn't a legend because while he was alive he didn't sell millions of records and he didn't go platinum doesn't really make sense because this is art. It's subjective, it's a matter of opinion, it doesn't work like other industries. For example, when Michael Jackson died, I remember his sales went through the roof because when an artist dies, his work becomes more appreciated because the world is never going to get any more of it. To be legendary has nothing to do with whether or not you're alive. Just an example, I happen to have taken visual art back in high school, and one of the artists, one of the painters we're taught about was Vincent Van Gogh. And an interesting thing about him that a couple people know is that while he was alive, he was broke and he wasn't respected as a painter. It was only after he shot himself in the chest and died that his work really blew up. And now today there's nobody in the painting industry that's going to say Vincent van Gogh isn't a legend because he wasn't a legend while he was alive. That kind of thinking doesn't make sense. It isn't applicable to art. Other reasons why Nipsey Hussle is a legend is because he was a legend for more than just his music. People will remember him for his activism, his business ventures, and his philanthropy. Nipsey believed in finding solutions for black young men, providing resources and opportunity for them. He wanted to be the type of person that led by example. He wanted to be the change he wanted to see in the world. Instead of flexing on the gram like most superficial rappers would do, Nipsey was the type of person who'd rather fund improvements to neighborhood schools. He was the type of man who wanted to make sure that young people could learn science and mathematics at local centers. In my personal opinion, I might even say that Nipsey Hussle was more of a legend than most musicians because it's one thing to be a legend for the fact that you make music. It's another thing to be a legend for your music as well as other things you did that had completely nothing to do with your music. He was a guy who went to the streets themselves and made a change. He touched people's lives forever. And I also wanted to shed light on the fact that when Wack100 said that this whole controversy was nothing personal, his opinions on Nipsey Hussle not being a legend was nothing personal. I didn't believe that. I didn't believe that for a second because a while back, I don't know if you guys remember this, but a while back, there was an audio clip of Wack basically justifying Nipsey Hussle's shooter. He basically said that he had no hard feelings for the shooter, the person that murdered Nipsey Hussle, because basically the gist of what he said was it is what it is. The shooter was just doing his job, that he was told to kill Nipsey, and if somebody gave him a job like that, he had no choice but to do it. So personally, this puts Wack100 in a very negative light. There's no coming back from such statements. And even after this clip was released to the public and he received hella backlash for it, he did for a moment apologize, but then basically went back on his word and doubled down on his statements, saying basically it is what it is. I don't see him as a good person. Yeah. What do you guys think? Leave a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah.